Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of R&D Podcast with your hosts, Ryan and Derek. Today, we talk about Cascadia. Yes, the country.
The country of Cascadia, which I bet you didn't know, is BC, Washington, and Oregon.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, but we talk about what happens if it did exist.
We make
and
it.
then we go on some tangents here and there. But you know what? Let's get a listen going. How are you feeling on Sunday?
Sunday.
That was a busy day for you.
That was pretty good.
Were you?
I was feeling good. Other half wasn't feeling good.
Oh, she wasn't feeling good?
No. A little bunged up,
Yeah?
as we would we call it. But that was partly my fault. I was playing Instigator the whole night, but
That was good, though.
that was good.
I mean, that was the thing. Like,
It was good. It was good.
good way to meet her is
Yeah,
get in there.
intro. Yeah, get in there. We got in there for sure.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I would definitely do that again.
Go blind.
Yeah, go blind. Like eating. Yeah, I got a butt end of the fork once. That was pretty good. That's, definitely spilt my drink a couple times.
Yeah, what an experience, eh?
Yeah, I had some wet fingers.
It's definitely different with a group of people than it is just with
Yeah.
one-on-one.
How was it 1-on-1?
One-on-one is okay. It's not as like, I don't know. Like, there was a moment where I would talk to you, and she would be in the middle of us, and I didn't realize how close she was.
Yeah.
And then I lean in, and it's like,
I'm right there.
you're breathing.
Hey,
on me.
how's it going?
You're breathing. On
I
me.
didn't know where to look. Like, I knew I was talking to someone, but, like, I couldn't see their face.
No.
So you're just looking around, talking, and you're like, where is your face? I remember smelling a few people. That was fun.
Yeah, right. Smell this. Smell that.
Smell this.
Like,
Hey, smell me. I
what-
can smell you.
Oh my God, what is that? My ass.
I remember.
Doofy, I told you.
It's just you can't have an intimate or like just a private conversation because all your senses are so in tune. Your audible is on point and you can hear just the finest. You're trying to whisper, but you can pick up on it because visual is out, so all your other senses are heightened.
No, exactly. It's definitely different for
I just
for someone
my
that-
mouth.
We're recording this
and
black?
we're in light.
Oh,
It's not pitch black, guys. I promise.
yeah. It's definitely different to have people. You lose your sight, which is such a prominent thing when eating, because usually you like to see your food and know what you're putting in your mouth.
Yes, I
So-
would like to know what I'm putting in my mouth for most cases.
Open
I trust
wide.
them. I trust them in that case. There's sometimes I just like, we'll see how this goes, but
Yeah, open wide. And
open wide and swallow.
now that was one thing that I will say about that place is I don't know who was making the old fashions, but you do not put soda water in it.
What was that? I couldn't finish mine.
It was soda water in it. I don't know.
What was it? It was like a rye and soda.
Yeah, it was like a hint of that orange zest.
It was atrocious.
Yeah, it was.
I
pretty bad.
didn't finish it.
I can't. I ordered again with no soda, and it
Came with soda?
It came with something like water. It's like almost like they didn't want to just give you straight up rye.
No.
So I wish I just went with like surprise me.
Yeah, we just went with the bottle of wine, and that was good.
See, that might have been a better choice, but I just didn't want to have a whole bottle of wine to myself, and I'm not a glass guy.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, as it was, we ended up going to Stormcrow on West Broadway, and got the treasure chest.
Because last time is not all those different drinks. We had the Darth Vader skull, right?
Yep, and that's on there.
Is that always on the menu, that
Yeah.
stuff?
Well, that changes. Like, before they had the xenomorph, which is the alien head. Like like the black, elongated head.
Uh-huh.
So they had that, and then you remove the top of the head, and then there's the drink in there with the dry ice and stuff. But
what was this treasure chest one?
it was a 2.6 of Hennessy and a bottle of Prosecco.
That was a 2.6 in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. What do you think? It's $100. We did four couples. Four couples.
That was a
split
2.6 in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that bad. It's
No.
like kind of getting like bottle service.
Kind of. It's either it's like half a 2.6 or a 2.6. I'm pretty sure. I know it's a lot. There's only 2 ingredients in it, and that was a lot of booze in there.
Mm-hmm. That definitely was.
Because the fizziness, you could taste the Hennessy.
Oh yeah, definitely. I only had a couple sips.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys were going to town on it.
Well, others people going ham on it, but
yeah, because like I had some good gulps.
Some good gulps. Nothing like a good old gulp.
I had some big gulps.
Some big gulps.
Yeah, I didn't.
It tasted good. But
yeah, I don't know. You're more of a.
Mm-hmm. I like
Hennessy.
the cognac.
Yeah,
I like me some cognac.
I haven't really gotten into the. Yeah, I haven't really.
No fish sandwich.
Remember that night? I was just doing all those. Hey, what's up, everybody? You have a tuna fish sandwich? Hi, I'm the ladies' man.
Great film.
Yeah,
classic.
But yeah,
no, I definitely did the Cavassiers. I remember my 19th. I had the Remy Martin.
Oh,
it was tough to get down. That was the night that you brought over absence, and we had.
I can do that.
Was that the night? Was that NBA Pros and Jersey Ho night?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, one of those nights. Yeah,
it was
that's good old.
It was
my
definitely a themed party.
It was a theme party. We were big into the themes back then. Man, that was rough. That was a rough night for me.
Oh yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm glad I woke up not as rough as I thought I would be, but then it's one of those ones where you wake up.
I was just tired.
That's what I was. I was tired. I had a bit of a headache.
Tired. I've been tired this whole week.
I mean, you got a lot going on.
Yeah, but it's yeah. The only thing I was tired. I mean, definitely don't recommend drinking before moving.
No,
that's not a good idea. But
usually people drink while moving.
Yeah,
to make it less tedious.
Mm-hmm. But no, it was good.
That's awesome.
It was a fun night. We both really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, that's good. I mean,
it was good. Definitely more action like that in the future.
Yeah. No, it'll be. I wanted to do a podcast in the dark table. Everyone have mics and just describe everything.
That would have been fun, but we would probably have to get like a private sector.
Yeah, you would have picked up a lot of back noise for sure. Mm-hmm. But it would have been interesting to have those recorded conversations. Though I think the thing is having 10 people talking.
It would get a lot muffled and a lot of people talking over each other.
Over talking is probably something that you wouldn't make out any conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
No, it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, so today I was bringing up a little conversation with another buddy about like what's going on in North America in the sense of like politics and things are kind of crazy.
Yeah. And
my idea was like, why doesn't this will never happen? Mm-hmm. This day and age of the world is kind of gone. But why? Like, America is built up of 50 states. The idea was good at the beginning, but as the population grows, it's hard for the whole governing body to really run that country. There's so many different opinions. Mm-hmm. So why not break it off into like smaller countries and kind of have like a European style where it's like EU, where there's like 20 plus countries that all kind of have open border policies with each other and kind of open trade and whatnot, right? I mean, I don't know the whole ins and out of the EU, but you could have that. And like living in Vancouver, we could become the Cascadia.
I'm all about the Cascadia movement.
But I mean, like I said, this will never happen. But it's fun to think about if it could happen, because I mean that would be Oregon, Washington, and BC.
Alaska.
No, Alaska.
No, Alaska.
No, because
I thought Alaska was involved with it.
Alaska would be hard because if you took Alaska, you'd have to take the Yukon.
No, fuck the Yukon. You're out of here.
But that's what I'm saying. But it does like change. Like if you were gonna go just the already established states and province, then you would just run that. But the line kind of in how they would draw it would take a bit of Idaho away, and like kind of.
I think I've seen the maps.
Yeah, kind of like run down. And there's talk about like taking the northern part of California. I mean, California went in and tried to split into California,
North Korea and South Korea,
North
North
California,
Cali and South Cali. Well, they
and
already
South Cali,
they already are split up, North Cali, South.
Yeah,
Cali.
but I mean, all of LA's debt is on North California and South California.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those two areas are the profitable parts of California, right?
Middle California, you can fuck right off.
Pretty much.
Who the fuck wants to live in Middle California? I don't even know where that is.
LA.
What is that? Middle California?
Yeah, it's like LA-ish.
LA?
LA would be called Central California.
LA is SoCal, Southern California.
Yeah, but how they would cut it off, it would be below Anaheim.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck's in Middle
Because
California?
I think it's mostly population, right?
Population. I
Because
thought you were talking about
you
landscape.
can't do like central of California being just nobody.
Nobody.
Like what?
Yeah,
Santa Monica and North?
Let's see. Central California. What do we got? Central California. Region. Oh, it's like
I know
San
LA.
Jose.
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Yeah, but Bay Area would classify as north because that's the major city in the north of California.
What are you talking about? You got Eureka.
Yeah. Okay.
Eureka, that was an old mining town.
Okay. Well.
Gold.
Yeah, and that's where the whole saying.
Eureka.
That's
Yeah.
That's where that whole thing came from. They found some gold and they went Eureka, and let's name the city after that, man. That's pretty funny.
I stopped in there. We're doing a road trip.
Yeah.
It was cool.
There's
Yeah,
some old.
they
There's
have
some
some old
old.
buildings.
Old village, like old mining. What do you call them? Frontierland places, like old
Wild Western style buildings.
Yeah, like they're still like
that was
standing.
the Wild Wild West back then.
Yeah, but I mean that like they still have those like ghost towns.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. Ghost towns, like mining towns that they've kept up for tourist destinations.
It's now just a tourist stop.
Oh, Eureka is?
Yeah.
Did it have the old wooden planks and?
It's yeah.
Isn't Sacktown like that too?
Sacramento?
Yeah. Sacramento has like their old town has the boardwalk kind of wooden style.
I stopped on the road trip. I stopped in Eureka on the way down, and then we stopped in Sacramento just to fill up, but just like right off the highway.
So you never stopped in?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, it was right by because
that's a huge tourist destination.
Yeah, well, Sacramento is the capital of California.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Phew, the more you know.
Yeah. And so I stopped right by the arena, the NBA arena, and then just got back on the highway.
Why do they do that? Why do they make the capitals like the least populated place of the whole province or state?
I have no idea.
I won't say Sacramento's the least populated, but out of like LA, you would think would be the capital because it's the heavily.
You think LA or San Francisco or
either one of those.
San Diego.
San Diego. Yeah. I mean, I would think it'd be a little more big, like a bigger population.
Anaheim. Why the fuck isn't Anaheim? Like Disneyland is there. It should be the capital.
Well, Disneyland's the capital of Anaheim, but
yeah.
but no, like Victoria is the capital of Vancouver or BC. I mean, but why not Vancouver?
Yeah. Well, New West used to be the capital in BC.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's why they have Royal Ave, like the street.
Well, I don't know. I don't know the streets very well.
I think there's a Royal Ave.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, Royal Ave.
Yeah.
Royal Street, Royal Ave, but there's a Royal Street or Avenue.
And
New West.
How long ago was this?
This is let's look at some BC facts here. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure New West used to be the old capital.
Yeah, it was in 1960. Was the corporation of the? Oh, it was the
BC.
colonial BC. It wasn't the province capital.
New Westminster was the capital of colonial British Columbia.
Yeah.
1859 to 1866.
And then in 1898, it was destroyed by a disastrous fire.
It was the scene of a disastrous fire. All right.
You know, Vancouver burnt down too, as well as Seattle, and
So
like within
all
a
big
decade of
towns.
each other.
Portland did too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why they should all get together.
Yeah, we're just the burned down towns.
Yeah.
Burn downtown. Fuck Cascadia.
Yeah.
Burn down towns.
Yeah. God, could you imagine living in a time where your town would just burn to the ground because there wasn't enough infrastructure to water the buildings?
No.
Like, hey, oh man, you get all these fires around even in BC, you get massive fires, and they don't really get close enough, but the smoke come in. But I mean, fires like that back in the day, they'd be like, guys, get ready for the big one.
Well, yeah, we were a much simpler person. We have a bucket of water. We can chuck at it.
Do you know that back in I watched it on Gangs of New York is where I got this tidbit.
What? What's this?
Gangs of New York.
Oh, Gangs of New York.
I got this tidbit that in old New York they used to have a fire like fire trucks and the firemen. They would be multiple fire houses that would fight each other and then loot the homes. I mean, I don't know if it's totally accurate, but that's at least what Martin Scorsese depicted. I believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine being back like in the early 1900s, like when these towns are like brand new.
I mean, fuck, if we were back then, you gotta think the coronavirus would be this black plague.
Yeah, it's the Black Plague.
Yeah, here we go.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, let's
witches,
slaughter pigs and burn women.
Imagine like coming back with like an iPhone back in the 1900s. Electricity.
Do you ever seen these pictures of like people trying to prove that these are time travelers? Like the glasses he's wearing are modern day sunglasses. They weren't invented for. Yeah, there's like a bunch of pictures on.
Really?
There's a whole little thing on YouTube where
it was
people.
Me. I was there.
Yeah. Oh,
that's a picture of me.
So the most recent one was one from I think the Yukon.
Yeah.
And it was Greta Thunberg.
Who's that?
The Swedish activist, that like 17-year-old girl that goes around.
She was there? Well, she was seen back then. Fuck, I knew it. She's an alien.
Man, it was old photo, I think.
Old photo?
Yeah, it was. Oh, here you go.
She's reincarnated?
Yeah, so like. Oh, jeez. So that photo is from 1898 on the left.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
Like.
And
that's a mining town up in the Yukon, I believe.
In the Yukon?
Yeah.
What we all have, what's that called? A doppelganger?
Yeah, doppelganger, yeah.
Doppelganger?
Yeah, but there's
like
also
someone that looks like you, right?
Yeah. But it's weird. Like, I mean, there's some genome, kind of.
I got lots of people that look like me.
Isn't that weird though? Like, she looks almost identical.
Yeah.
So there must have been genes, right?
Yeah.
The processing of their DNA would have been very similar, right?
The genome.
The genome, yeah. Would that not have been pretty similar to get them to look kind of similar?
Mm-hmm.
That's
same species.
Why? Well, yeah, they're all human.
Homo sapiens.
Yeah, but that's just fucked up. Like, it's just weird to think about that. But anyways,
we get back. What were we talking about?
Yeah, Cascadia.
We're teaming up with good old Cascadia.
That one, yeah,
I think that would be so cool.
That would be cool because BC has more in common with Seattle or Washington and Oregon and even California than it does the rest of the rest of Canada.
BC, Washington, and Oregon. Well, northern Oregon. You get down some of the southern Oregon.
Yeah,
it gets a little.
Oregon was one of the last states to be that got rid of old style Ku Klux Klan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Old style.
Old style. Well, new style is you're not burning people and stuff.
Oh, no, I did not know
We're not lynching. Actually, funny thing about
there
lynching.
is also a crazy sex cult. And did you watch that documentary?
No.
Was it Wild Wild Country, I think it is? It was about an hour and a half where I was living in just outside the Dalles, Oregon.
Oh, really?
It was what was the guy's name? It was Wild Wild Country. Wild Wild Country. There was a sex cult in Oregon.
Huh.
2018, one season. What's his name?
One season of sex cult?
The city in the Oregon desert. It causes a massive conflict with local ranchers. Chronicles the conflict, which leads to the first bioterror attack in the United States and a massive case of illegal wiretapping. American cultural history that tested the country's tolerance for the separation of church and state. Okay, I want to know what the guy's name was. Rajneesh. That's what his name was.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this. I heard about this. He was like a guru.
Yeah, sex guru.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I heard about that.
worth the wash.
I did watch a bit of that. Yeah.
It-
I didn't realize that. I forgot that it was in Oregon.
That was literally like an hour drive from where I was staying.
Well, just not the right time.
Not the right time, man.
Was that back in the 80s?
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, 70s, 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a different time for people.
Oregon has got a lot of good. That just
Oregon's
fits,
got good history.
It fits totally Portland, like that weird sex cult, like hipster. That's totally what
That's
they're
the
about.
thing is like
It's got their own personality.
this West Coast, I think, has a lot of history that people don't know about, and people that do know about it try to share it, but it's not old history because it's one of everyone came over from the East Coast because most of us were Europeans that came here, and it wasn't until the late 1800s, early 1900s that Asian populations started to come over here to find work and stuff, and that's kind of where the history becomes broader. But at the beginning, I mean, when people were founding
our founding fathers.
founding fathers, yeah, that was like coming over to this area. I mean, a lot of stuff, man. Imagine the stories like going back then and trying to figure it out.
Like BC has gotten rid of a lot of their heritage buildings, and that's the one thing I like about Portland. They kept a lot of their heritage buildings.
I mean, that's what I love about Fort Langley. Fort Langley has a community that wants to keep that area still old looking, new built, old looking though. Like a lot of New Orleans, there's a committee that
you got to keep that
that allows you to build a certain way. Like you have to bring if you're going to build
Bourbon Street. You got to keep Bourbon Street the same way.
Yeah, well, I mean, any new build in New Orleans, it has to be from like repurposed stuff from the old building, and then has to have the gas lit lanterns outside. So it still has that feel, but it's updated because I mean, a lot of their stuff is.
Now, is it New Orleans or New Orleans?
New Orleans, if you're not from there.
New Orleans.
People call it New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No,
New Orleans.
yes, NOLA.
NOLA. Yeah. I got some NOLA shorts.
Oh,
2008.
Yeah? Nice.
When the All-Star game was there.
Yeah.
But, no.
No, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, I agree. A lot of the history of Canada never really... I mean, Montreal did a really good job, but Canada
Quebec City.
Western
Shout
Canada,
out.
I mean,
Quebec City.
Edmonton, Alberta, they're
What
newer-ish.
the fuck are you doing? Yeah.
Well, they're newer-ish. So, and same with, like, Regina and stuff. They have their old style, right? But they're not... Like, major cities like Vancouver... They're
Toronto,
tearing down.
They're well.
I mean, they're finally repurposing some of the buildings. Like Amazon bought the old post office in downtown, and they're now adding on to it, and they have to keep the same facade.
Facades. I love a good facade nowadays. Yeah. Well, that's why I love the. You went to Edgefields, but the McMinimans brothers.
Yep.
They take old heritage buildings and they refurbish them.
They make them more,
and they make them like sustainable in today's. Bring them up to code, but they keep the same look.
But that's kind of what you have to do. You have to take some of this heritage and then mix it with some of the new, and then bring it together where people can relate to both. A lot of people find history interesting if it's relatable. If you just throw someone into history and they're like no context to it, it's like whatever. That's why a lot of Vancouver's buildings have been tearing down because the history's not as rich as like New York or Boston or even like any parts of Massachusetts where
Eastern states, Eastern Canada are always going to have that colonial culture, and so they have that Civil War like just staple. A lot of history, a lot of things have happened there, and it's just that's where we first settled.
Yep,
coming over.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time for people to go west. It was...
there's no airplanes can just...
No, it was long track.
Yeah, long track.
And there was like that's where the original convoy came in.
Yeah.
People would convoy their horse and wagons and trek across the prairie lands of...
Single horsepower vehicles.
I think they had double.
Double horsepower, 2 horsepowers?
Probably max up to like 8 horsepower.
Yeah, 8 horsepower. Man, just think about
Like our vehicles are now like 300
horsepower.
400
Is like,
horsepower. I mean, like some of those F1s are like what, 500-600 horsepower?
yeah,
Like 800. I don't know.
800 horsepower.
Yeah, just got 800 horses just pulling your car.
Check out my new ride. I got 800 horses. Just rolling up.
Line all the way to the end of the street.
Oh, gravel roll. Giddy up.
Yeah. What do you think like a 1 to 60 could get? Like you would take a long time.
0 to 60? Well, you got 800 horses, so you're giddying up pretty fast.
Yeah, but it'd take a while. Once you get going, you'd be going.
But it's not like having all 800 horses going at once.
Yeah.
You have that chain effect. So the first one goes, and then it's going to take about an hour and a half for 800 to go.
It'd be like in rush hour. Where everyone slows to stop, and then all of a sudden the car in front of you just zooms off.
God
You're like,
damn,
what the
this
hell?
traffic is horrible.
Yeah,
there's fucking 800 horses in front of us.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, like that's the stuff that's changed now. Which if you told someone back in the day, like
You got 800 horses in there? Where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Little tiny mini horses.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's like the Flintstones. There was no horsepower; it was just 2 feet,
2
or
feet.
4 feet,
Yeah.
depending on how many people.
Oh, Fred and Barney, man, they were giddying up.
Mm-hmm.
And paddle foots.
Yeah, but
Do you remember that place, Flintstone, that amusement park? Where was that?
that was just outside of Hope, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember.
It was Flintstones, and then it was like Dino Land.
Yeah, that's gone now too.
That's
I think.
gone. Well, yeah, it's been gone for a long time, but I remember going there as a kid.
But that's the thing is like if you look back at the 90s, they were like 80s, 90s was like the heyday of people trying to make their own water amusement parks or just amusement parks.
Water, like remember in Pitt,
Yeah.
the water slides and the go-kart.
Water slides hit a big heyday in like the
everybody
early
loved
90s.
the water slides. Was such a
late
hit.
80s, early 90s.
Cultus Lake was the place to be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of good water slide places still around. Cultus Lake still has there.
Is it Twasson?
Twasson's is They have the black hole and stuff, but they don't have.
Isn't it just Cultus and Twasson that have water slides now?
Yeah, well, Cultus is the big one.
It is the big one.
Yeah,
they got little mini rides now too.
Tawasson's is right by the mall. I don't even know if it's still open. I haven't heard of anyone going there in a long time. It's a lot smaller than Cultus, but then you go to West Edmonton Mall.
Well, yeah.
That has a killer, like a wave pool. Like, who would have thought? Let's build a massive mall and let's put an amusement park in there.
No offense,
someone died.
Edmund Chucks, one of the shittiest towns in Canada.
Ooh. There's some listeners that are going to hate your guts.
Edmund Chuck? I mean, I apologize. I have a lot of.
When was the last time you went to Edmonton? You went there a lot for
once
basketball, right? Or you went once?
Once. And that was enough.
I went there once too.
Yeah,
I didn't have a problem with it. I liked it.
It was right.
You know what the thing about there is they get all the American stuff that we don't get. They have a lot less regulations on stuff.
They're the Texas of Canada, Alberta.
Great. I mean, I've never been to Texas, but I'd love to go.
Yeah, they're the Texas. Everything is bigger.
So what's the Alamo? Calgary?
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
you got the what is it? What's the festival? The
Stampede?
Stampede.
Yeah.
Yeah, Calgary Stampede.
What do you think would happen to like Alberta and Saskatchewan? I think Winnipeg, they'd be fine because they can still hop off Ontario. Mm-hmm. But what would happen to like Alberta and Winnipeg, or not Winnipeg, Alberta and Saskatchewan if they were cut off from like the Pacific? Like if Cascadia did happen and BC became parts of Washington and Oregon, would you be looking at a lot like a big cutoff? Because I mean, a lot of Alberta's oil tries to come through Vancouver or BC, right? With all the new pipelines they're trying to build and stuff. I mean, one day that'll eventually happen. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that was the whole point of the shut down Canada.
Yeah, but we got the ocean, so
exactly. But if you think about it, like if that Cascadia did happen, that would be a cutoff to all of Canada's Pacific connection. Mm-hmm. Like, could you imagine how rich BC, Washington, like Cascadia would be?
It'd be super. It'd be even more. Like as much as Vancouver is a place to be, it'd be even more of a destination we want to go to.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and okay, so I'll read a little statistics that they wrote down just if that did ever happen. And so the capital, what do you think the capital would be?
Of Cascadia?
Yeah. So you got the 2 states and then the 1 province. Largest city is Seattle.
I would go with Olympia. I would still right smack dab in the middle.
You think Olympia would?
Olympia, Washington. Because that's the capital of Washington right
Okay,
now.
well, they say the capital would likely be Vancouver, Victoria, Seattle, or Portland.
Those are just the biggest cities.
And that's usually, like, I mean, it was back in the day they established these capitals, right?
Olympia has a pretty sick parliament building.
Well, but that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
All right. The population roughly would be about 17.5 million.
17.5 million?
In that country, yeah. We'd be the same size as like Cambodia,
Cambodia,
Ecuador,
and
stuff. But yeah, our average life expectancy, what do you think it would be?
75.
Wow. Really lowballing people. You just think people are
75?
Live hard, die
Average?
young.
That's pretty old. 75?
I think the world average right now is like 83 for male.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought females were higher.
I think females are 88.
Ooh, let's go, baby. I got lots of life to live.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, if you live smart, yeah. But anyways, the average life expectancy would be 91 for men.
91. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Why is this a thing? Let's go, baby.
Yeah, but 91 for men and 94 for women.
Why,
and then I love how they throw this little tidbit in.
What's that?
Driving side, right.
Right side? Fuck it. Fuck you guys. We're driving on the right side because we can. We're fucking Cascadia, sons of bitches.
We drive on the right now.
On the right-hand drive?
No, we drive on the right side.
Oh, I thought you meant on the car.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, I love how they threw that, like, it would change.
I thought you meant, like, right-hand drive.
No. It's funny because back before, BC is still a colony, and before the Washington was still, like, a territory, and same with Portland, or Oregon, I mean, Thomas Jefferson and Jacob Astor, John Jacob.
Yeah, John Jacob.
Which is funny, relative of the late John Jacob Astor who died on the Titanic.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, the Astor family is, I guess, pretty big. Anyways, they established Fort Astoria, and they said that western side would one day be the prominent
Astoria. Part. That's in Oregon.
Yeah, it's right on the bridge between like the little channel separates, right? Yeah, it's like the bridge is Washington.
Astoria has a lot of history there.
The Goonies, baby.
Yeah, it's one of it is crazy haunted, like a lot of dark history there.
It's got chunk.
Yeah,
truffle shuffle, and I mean that's the only thing I really know about Astoria is the Goonies because it was set in Astoria. But isn't Vancouver on the other side?
Washington.
Vancouver, Washington.
Not on the coast.
Vancouver, Washington's like one of the most southern cities in.
Well, yeah, no, it's
in the States.
It's right south to Portland. Like, well, Jansen Beach.
No, it's north of Portland. Yeah, the bridge.
So you
come in Vancouver and then you go to Portland,
and then Portland is south,
and the bridge separates. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
The gorge,
and so then Astoria is further west.
Yeah,
along the coast.
It's right on the coast.
Yeah.
Oregon coast.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean, I think that the best part about it is, like, as someone who lives in BC, I go to the States pretty regularly, and I usually don't drive further than Oregon because I mean it's just super long. And the what is it? The pass? I can't remember the pass name. In California, right when you go from Oregon to California, there's the pass. And that's like high elevation. People get lost and weird shit happens up there.
Yeah, Northern Cali. It's
I can't remember the name.
I can't think of the name.
But yeah, so it's it'd be interesting if that ever did happen. Like I said, it would never happen because
Let's
it's
make
illegal.
it happen.
It's illegal for any state to suggest separatist.
Really?
Yeah, after the
But what about Quebec? Well, we're a
no
province.
province. That's Canada. It's not illegal for Canada, but it's illegal for the states. Any state cannot separate after the oh my god, I can't remember the name. The people,
Declaration of Independence?
no, that's the 70s. Or well, the
1970.
1770s. No, 1777, I think, or 78.
I don't know.
The Civil War. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Well, after the Civil War, they did the.
We got to fight
Treaty
for
or
our
something.
right to party.
Yeah. Well, let's get Vegas. Let's get Nevada in there.
Nevada. Fuck Nevada. Like, good Vegas, but talk about...
It's cheap to live there, though.
Yeah, it is, because who the fuck wants to live in a desert like that? Well, I guess you got Arizona, though.
I mean, people like Palm Springs.
Yeah.
It's kind of arid and
I think there's a
deserty.
lot of poverty in Vegas, though.
Oh, probably. A lot of people go there thinking they're going to strike it, and then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people do you think went to Vegas with the idea that they're going to strike it rich and then lost it all? Quite a few.
Quite a few.
I mean, it's probably better now, but imagine back in the day when that first opened up.
Vegas has changed so much.
Well, yeah, old Vegas is now this weird
Like,
strip where people go and hang out, but
you can't
not really stay.
You can't drink.
What? You can drink in old Vegas.
Yeah, you can, but you can't drink you can't walk around with a nude.
You can't walk in the nude. No, you have to be
No,
fully dressed.
no, can't walk out with like a can.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. They give you a plastic cup.
Yeah, they give you a plastic cup, but on the main strip of Vegas, you can walk with a bottle of beer.
Fat Tuesdays all day, baby.
Fat Tuesday. Oh, give me those all day. I love
Yeah.
those. The slush drinks.
Hot heat.
Yeah, slush.
Slushy drink with a
Oh.
couple 151s in there.
Oh no! What? That's not a thing anymore. 151.
Okay, well, it's not 151 called anymore. Bacardi doesn't make it, but some other
Yeah.
rum company
Mhm.
makes it. It's still 151% proof.
No spank you.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get in that.
No spank you. I had a big old margarita, and I swear there was a 2.6 in it, and I was sipping on it for walking around the strip of Vegas until like 3. I swear I was drinking this thing for about 4.5 hours.
I did that, but it was like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, this is the first night we got in like 11.
It was so hot one day. We were walking down the strip, and the buddy I was with was like, "Man, I can't do it. The heat's too much. Like too much. I think it was like 46 degrees out Celsius
cooking.
So
What is that? What is that to our other Fahrenheit listeners? 110?
112.
112? I don't know. I don't do good at math.
I mean, I could do it, but it's one of those things where I'd have to like sit, take time.
Carry the 2.
So maybe I'll just Google it quickly.
Google it.
Celsius to Kevlin.
Kevlin's? Calvin's.
Is it Calvin or Calvin?
What's that?
Calvin?
Calvin's. No, it's fair. What? It's
47, 116.
116.
Yeah, wow, we were. Yeah, so it's hot. It's hot, very hot. I think the hottest I've ever been in is 52 degrees in Arizona.
That was disgusting. It was so hot, the birds were like, nah, fuck this.
It was so hot, people's garbage cans were melting.
Planes are melting.
Yeah, they couldn't take off the runway because the runway was too hot. It was so hot that the signs that had the lettering on it, the lettering would be melting off the metal sign for the streets.
That was absolutely insane.
Washington Ave or whatever it is in Arizona, off.
Fuck that.
In Phoenix, yeah, gone.
See ya.
Now Washington Ave.
Osh.
But yeah, that's the hottest I've been in. But anyways, we were walking down the strip, and he's like, "It's too hot," and we're hungover, so it's like just that you just don't want to be in there. So it's okay. Well, best thing about the main strip in Vegas is you can hop into casinos and you can literally walk casino to casino indoor the whole way. Mm-hmm. And then there's those little hallways, and in one of those ones is Fat Tuesday. So let's do it.
Fat Tuesday.
That was his first take at Fat Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday.
Yeah. I told him to get a couple of the shots for $1.
Oh man. I love Vegas.
Do you know, I read a stat.
A state.
I read a stat where Canada drinks The Canadian people drink more than America per capita.
Per capita?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure that was it. Like, on average, we consume more alcohol than Americans do. Now, they consume a whole lot more alcohol
Just 'cause
because
of mass.
of mass population.
I
But
would agree with that.
our percentage of alcohol is
I
higher.
would challenge any American to a drink off. Not
Especially-
any American.
No, I wouldn't.
I take that back. I know some pretty good drinkers. But the average American, I would...
Yeah,
challenge.
I would challenge any American that sticks to beer and sticks to Budweisers and Bud Lights.
Yeah.
Definitely good. And Coors Light.
Coors.
Or, Natty Light.
Natty Light.
Any
I
of
love
the-
me some Natty Light. You know what I really like? Bush Light.
Sure.
That was my drink.
Any of the normal beers and the light beers.
Uh-huh.
And someone from, like, maybe the South. But if they're into whiskey and stuff,
No, game over.
yeah, I'm gonna let them.
If you're drinking Jack straight out the bottle, not
you
good.
win.
Yeah, you win. You win.
Now, that being
win.
said, I might have more longevity. They might consume more than me, but if it was who can consume the most over the longest period of time, I might win. But who can consume the most in the shortest period of time, hands down, they're probably going to win.
Yeah, I'm a good rallier. I can rally and I can keep the party going.
Yeah.
But I know my limit and I play within it.
Yeah, that's kind of, that's... I'm very glad that I never, ever went through a period of time where I didn't know how to consume and I would end up in the hospital getting my stomach pumped.
Mm-hmm.
I never had that issue.
Good.
I was
That's a good
always...
issue.
Yeah, that's a good issue?
That's a good issue not to have.
Oh, not to have,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not to have.
Yeah. Because, I could not imagine. Some people, they go, like, the first time. Like, that's their first experience. It's just getting absolutely getting pumped, yeah.
My first time, I got pumped. I got
Yeah.
pumped real good, right in the tummy.
Like, how do you come back from that? I'd be probably pretty scared. I don't know if I would.
mentally.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be like next week. All right, man, let's go. I think I know how to handle this now.
Well,
Like, don't slam a whole 2-6.
Don't take straight shots of vodka in a cup.
No, you gotta just. Oh yeah. But yeah, it's something that's different with each person. But
yeah,
yeah.
I'm all about Cascadia though. Let's make it happen.
How would you ever go about doing something like that?
I would go around door to door, be like, "Hey,
Door to
you
door.
with this or no?"
So
Check yes.
Alberta's trying to do Wexit.
Huh? Wax it?
Wexit.
Wax it.
Yeah, it's Western
Exit?
exit. Yeah, like they want Alberta and BC to leave because they feel like since the capital is in Ottawa, it's such an Eastern Canada gets more of love than Western Canada, and like I think the whole thing is that with this new climate change and everyone's ideas of how we consume our resources is changing. I think with Albertans who rely a lot on their oil sands and those kind of resources, I don't know. I think they're trying to move away from that in a sense without trying to tarnish our main economic income. But I think they're pretty upset about how it's going about, so they want to just separate. And like it's like if Quebec can try, why don't we try? The only problem is BC's like, I don't think we're not going to do that. Like it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the biggest thing BC's trying right now is never doing time change again.
Yeah. I think Canada would lose their shit if BC was independent.
Yeah, well, I mean, you cut off the whole Pacific. Like our trading route is train all the way to Vancouver, get on the boats, ship it out to China and Korea and Philippines and all that, Japan,
Yeah. We're definitely the bougiest of the provinces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we definitely have. It's weird. Vancouver is as much, if not more, deserving of people every rest of Canada hating them as much as everyone hates Toronto.
Agreed?
Because Vancouver's got that, like, we're the best.
Because we are the best.
Exactly, right? And Toronto has such an American feel to it because they're right on the border. But even we're on the border, but it's the East Coast feel. Mm-hmm. And you gotta hate someone in your country. Exactly. I mean, you love them, but at the same time, you hate them.
West Coast, East Coast it's been
ever since. There's always been the vibe to not vibe with your fellow East Coasters.
I mean, well, that's big on the rap game, at least back in the.
Well, 90s. Even like when the Raptors won the championship,
but I didn't mind that.
See,
because
like
it's a Canadian. It's the only. But if Grizzlies were still around, I would have hated that.
I still have a soft spot for Vancouver, so I hate Toronto and the
because
Raptors.
they got Vince Carter and kept them.
Yeah, and we just had a fucking retard running our team.
Yeah, pardon
my French, but it was. I still had a soft spot for, the potentially having that West Side team. West Coast team, West Side. Yeah, I just, I liked it for Canada, but I didn't like Toronto winning it.
No, I mean that's the thing. It's like any you can talk to any sports fan in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll say this: any sports fan in Vancouver that Vancouver has a team in, they hate Toronto. So MLS. They hate Toronto. Hockey, they hate Toronto. But there's a lot of Raptors fans and a lot of Blue Jay fans in Vancouver.
Yeah, because it's the only team.
It's the only Canadian team. Mm-hmm. So why not cheer for your country than cheer for the closest team, which is Seattle?
Fuck that. I'd rather cheer for Seattle.
So a lot of Vancouver and BC residents, maybe even Albertan residents, they cheer for Seahawks because it's the closest national football team. I mean... Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, you're kind of out of luck. There's no states below you that have any national team. So here we go, Eskimos and...
Rough Riders, baby.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Yeah. Oh, that's Winnipeg. Yeah.
Did you say Saskatchewan or Winnipeg?
No, Winnipeg.
The Winnipeg...
Blue Bombers.
Blue Bombers.
Yeah, I said Eskimos.
Yeah, whoops. Edmonton Eskimos.
They love them too. But, yeah, actually, they fit into the category because they're like 11 hours north of Vancouver, so... Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you don't, you need someone to love and hate from your own country.
Basically hate everyone except BC. I'm just kidding. I love Canadians. Canada.
It's weird though, right? Like, I love East Coasters.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think there are many.
What?
I don't know that many. What do you mean?
Oh, well, I mean, I've met a few, and they're, super friendly. I love the little accent.
Canadian.
Of course. But, I mean, I've met some Toronto people, and they're not super friendly.
Dicks.
But that being said, I mean, whatever.
You know who are, generally, the nicest people I've ever met? Portlandians. I don't know what it is. They make Canadians seem mean.
That's because they shake their tits in your face.
No, not those kind. I mean, they're nice, but...
I will say Portland has just as bad a homeless problem as Vancouver.
Worse.
Worse because it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's not just isolated into the East Van.
It's everywhere. Oh, that's a good spot for a tent.
Man.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And there's so much construction going on downtown Portland. Mm-hmm. You would think they'd be like, all right, guys, let's ship you out. Because 2010 Olympics came. Hey, all you homeless, let's ship you out to Maple Ridge. And now it's walking around.
Wow,
hey.
The homeless problem is so much better.
Yeah.
No.
And then you go to Maple Ridge, you're like, wow, look at Tent City. They have very big infrastructure. Is that a high-rise tent?
That was a high-rise tent.
Yeah, it was 20 feet in the air.
And then someone tried to set it to flame, didn't they?
No, they just...
Gassed it?
They get high, and they leave their little propane lighters on and stuff, and all of a sudden it catches fire, boom, bomb.
Boom, bomb. Boom, bomb.
Boom, bomb, gone.
Boom, bomb, gone.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting with Portland, though. It's just kind of hard to... It's
but
not
they
contained.
love it. They love it.
They love the homeless problems?
They love it. They love the organic...
They love the character.
Exactly. They love the character. They love... we did a tour of the underground, haunted pub tour.
With Harriet Tubman?
Yeah, Harriet Tubman. Yes. No, Harriet Tubman.
You said the Underground Railroad.
The underground. Did I say that wrong?
No, I didn't.
No. Oh, okay. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, they say in the beginning of the thing, and they say,
Follow the drinking gorge?
homeless people, it's just part of the experience. Don't bother them; they won't bother you. Just go about your business. We had one homeless guy.
Is that like a free walking tour kind of thing?
Yeah. We had one homeless guy come in on our pitcher of beer that we had at one of the pubs. We poured him a glass, and the tour guide knew him. He was kind of, that was his thing, coming into the tour and getting a glass of beer.
Do you ever notice that like it has to be like a certain area to do like a walking tour or a pub crawl?
Well, there has to be in proximity, yeah.
Yeah, like I've done quite a few
Maple
pub
Ridge
crawls.
could do a brewery pub crawl.
Maple Ridge and like the BC Trail, the brewery trail that's now popped up that mimics similar to Portland, except it's pretty much all the suburbs. Mm-hmm. I don't think anything in Vancouver is part of the BC Trail.
Really?
No, but what is it?
Port Moody?
No, Driftwood in Victoria. That's part of it.
Oh, really?
Which means to get on this trail, you have to go to Victoria, which is on a ferry, yeah. And you got to like travel 3 hours to get to this other trail. Like, so that's an interesting trail. Yeah. Like you gotta
just get and walking around. Oh, I'm going up and fall asleep.
But that's the thing, though, is like the whole idea of BC is that everything's spread out. We're such a large province.
We're large and in charge.
Except,
sure.
I mean, we're so compact along the
border.
49. Yeah, the 49th parallel.
Let's go 49ers.
Well, yeah, who did I ask about, do you know how they got their name? They were like, yeah, it's the 49th parallel. And I'm like, no, it's not even close.
No.
It's the Miners.
The Miners. Go Miners.
Yeah, and minors as in pickaxe, not minors as in underage.
No. None of that.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah, so it was definitely a different time.
Yeah, it was a different time. What time was that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's time for this.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Well, adios, amigos. Thanks for another great listen.